All right, welcome everyone to the Storm contract match here at UBA Battle Bowl 16 in beautiful Newcastle, Delaware, Bowlerama Lanes. My name is Kenny Latham. I will be joined shortly by Gordon Pepper, and we will be covering this match between the winner, quote-unquote, but third-place finisher of the men's Open last night, Nick Varano, representing Rogue from North Jersey, against Storm Rotogrip staffer, PBA Pro, PBA champion, Stuart Williams. So this will be a best-of-7 match. If Nick happens to win 4 games, before Stu wins 4 games, Nick will win himself a Storm contract. He will be a Storm staffer for a full year. And we will be getting started very shortly here. Give you a quick rundown of, as you see, a little bit of what Battle Bowl looks like right now here on a Saturday afternoon. This is the biggest day of the year. The 8-man uncapped event is going on at the same time. Last night in the men's uncapped, the men's singles, Nick Varano finished in third place, like I said. The top 2 already have contracts, so they're not both for Storm contracts. Nick did shoot for 4 games, a 10-13. As Stu Williams starts off on the left lane, and he starts off with 10 back.
That gremlin's coming to get you.
And on the right lane, we're going to get our first look at Nick Varano. As he gets up here on the right lane and throws his first shot in this match, and also puts 10 back. So both of our bowlers starting off very strong, as you would expect. Once again, I will be joined shortly by Mr. Gordon Pepper, who will join me here in the commentary booth for this match. Again, best of 7. If Nick wins, he will win himself a Storm contract. All he has to do is beat a PBA champion, Stu Williams. All right, Nick's second going. Looks like he missed a little left there, came in very high, leaves himself a 6-pin. Gordon, how are you?
Hello, everybody. I am doing good. How you doing, Kenny?
Doing really good. Second frame, both started first frame, 10 back. Nick, this shot, a little left target, came in very, drew the nose, 6-pin, still makeable.
Well, one of the things that I have heard, I'm not sure how accurate this is, he comes from a generation of a family of Veranos, a lot of which have contracts to companies. Nick, the only one that does not have a contract yet to a bowling ball rep. That could very well change later on today, should within the next 7 games that Nick bowls, he wins 4 of them.
Yes. Stu's second frame gets a little bit of a weak 10-pin, and all he can do is laugh it off. So I've been watching, Stu's been around. He's been in Battle Bowl before.
Not his first time at Battle Bowl.
Correct.
If anything, makes him more dangerous because he knows what to expect. He knows the UBA noise. He knows the fact that people were cheering and booing for him. So he's a veteran. I think in terms of Storm contract matches, this is going to be one of the hardest ones just because it's not someone, no offense to some of the quote-unquote superstars that have been here before, but this is the first time that they were there. Some of them, shall we say, got caught like a deer in the headlights, as we see his next shot, which looks very good. Stu's been here. He knows what to expect. That makes him extremely dangerous, and this may be the toughest challenge that any UBA bowler has had to face.
Yes. We have had plenty of pros come in for the Storm contract match, but Stu's bowled.
Smoked like a salmon, by the way.
Yeah. But Stu's bowled events. He's been here before. I think this is his 3rd Battle Bowl, if I believe I'm correct on that one.
2-0 on contract matches.
Yes.
So, and he just did hot pursuit earlier. He wiped everybody out. So theoretically now 5-0 against UBA bowlers.
Yes. And see, we make 6-0 as you see Verano here with a 7-pin on its 3rd attempt. So in the history of Storm contract matches, how many times has the UBA bowler won that Storm contract?
Not many. I think 2, maybe 3 that I remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, I know some have been close. Like I think Brad Angelo, one of the first times we did it, went full 7 games against, was that Money Webster against him?
Correct, yeah.
Yes.
I believe you are correct, sir. Varano right now with a strike and 2 spares. Here's my question to you about Stu Williams. As I said earlier on, he had a match. He was successful on it. Does that help him that he says, okay, I know what the shot is? Or does that hurt him because he's on a different pair of lanes? They're 13 and 14. Bowlers from all over the universe complain about this pair because for them it's not fine china. They actually have to work to get scoring, and the scores here are traditionally lower than normal. Does that hurt or help?
Compared to the rest of the house, I'm not sure. I have bowled on this pair before in the uncapped, I think, a couple years ago. So I have firsthand experience that it's definitely not the easiest pair in the world. As we see, Stu gets this one a little wide, but he gets back in time for the strike. But most of these pairs do play similarly enough that it shouldn't be a big deal. And, Stu's a pro. He'll know how to adjust correctly.
What makes him even more dangerous is that this match is on a Saturday. That gave Stu Williams 2 days to figure out what the shot is, what the lane's going to be like, what the field's going to be like. He wasn't on this pair per se, but if you're going to give any pro 2 days and a couple of events to figure out what the shot is, it's going to be real dangerous.
Yes.
By the way, during this week, he did shoot a 300 already.
Yes, he shot a 300. I believe it was either last night or on Thursday night in one of the events. As you saw, the last shot, Stu did leave himself a ring 10 pin. So, if you're Nick in this scenario, the nerves have to be kicking in, right?
I think the nerves at the beginning are kicking in. I think what helps Nick a lot is the fact that Stu didn't start pounding him right out of the gate. Stu is up. He's only up by 10. And more importantly, he's on a spare. Nick is on a strike. So a strike here, all of a sudden it's even Steven.
Yes. And technically, if they do both decide to go throw strikes the rest of the game, Nick will win this game by 10 pins.
That is correct.
Let's see.
It's all about placement. All about
yeah.
placement.
Let's see if Nick gets back in the pocket. And he splits the 8-9. Perfect shot.
Beautiful shot from Verono, and it looks like he made the adjustment quickly on both lanes.
Yes.
In terms of leaving corner pins and then all of a sudden picking them and no longer leaving corner pins. Now, let's see how Stu reacts if Nick can throw a strike here and really put some pressure on him.
Yeah, because if Nick throws a strike here, he takes the lead, and Stu has to step up and throw a double just to try to keep in the game. Even though it is a little early, I mean, it is a fifth frame, it'll end sooner than you would think.
Yeah, you can't win a game early. You can lose a game early.
All right, Nick gets this one out, gets to where I think he wants it, but he leaves himself the 4, 8, 10. Now, in my experience, this does go. This can be picked up.
Yeah, he did leave 3, not 3 strikes, 3 pins. But Kenny, you're absolutely right. This is definitely makeable if he's aiming to shoot it from the 410 standpoint. He will clip the 8 going out. So
yeah,
it's definitely makeable.
It's a lot easier than say the 410 or sometimes maybe even the 4-9, just because you have a little more deflection, and that's going around the gutter.
Does not hook back from there.
No.
Gutter Dragon is hungry.
All right, now Stu's 7 right up, and he's going to try to jump on that mistake there by Nick. And he gets it out. It comes in, and he puts 10 down.
Yeah, hold on. I don't think that score's set. So maybe it's in.
I think Stu will take care of it for us.
Yeah, this is a really dangerous frame right now for Nick Varano game 1. If Stu can double, that puts a lot of pressure on Nick, and what makes it harder is that he's running out of frames this game.
Yeah, this is a 7 frame. This double, it'll be about a 19 pin, maybe 29 pin game. Let's see what Stu does as he gets it out. Oh, jumped up a little early, but gets out of trouble as the 4 falls. Only the 10 stands.
4 does fall. Nick's got to be breathing a little bit of relief here. He's got a shot to get right back into this one just because past 4 frames Stu has not been able to carry. Going Dutch goes 20 across, not 30. So Nick can get start getting some carry, he will be able to get himself back into this one.
Oh,
now
but
he really has a shot to get back into this one.
Yes.
Don't stop the car!
Whoops.
And that should help ease Nick's nerves a little bit, seeing that, even someone like Stu can miss a 10-pin and, make things a little easier for him.
It's a little drafty in this bowling alley because when it's a door, not a door, when it's ajar, all of a sudden, if Varano goes out, he wins. He'll win 230, 227.
Yes. So this strike can be a big strike, and it is. But the double, I think, is more important than the first one here.
Completely. Strike gets him back into it. Double gives him the lead. And again, as we said, more importantly, if he gets the double here in the 8th, Stewart cannot shut him out. Best that Stewart can do is a 227. Nick can go out again, 230, and he cannot be stopped. There's nothing that Stewart can do about it.
Correct. If they both go all strikes, Nick will win this game by 3 pins and take a 1-0 lead in this match.
And for confidence, that would be absolutely huge.
Oh, yes, absolutely. All right, Nick steps up here in the 8th frame, gets it right where he wants it, and gets 10 down.
Huge strike from Varano. That will definitely calm the nerves down. Also, major change and atonement for what he did the last time he was on lane 13.
Yeah. I think he's seeing a point where he really can't afford to miss left or right. He has to be pretty accurate. Even though this is a house shot, it is not playing like a super easy one, per se. I can speak from first-hand experience on that, as Stu pitches his 8th frame for a strike. And if he wants to put maximum pressure on Nick here, he will need to strike in the 9th frame.
I think striking the 9th frame is going to be mandatory. If he does not throw a strike, all of a sudden Nick's going to be real relaxed. And then also, he does not have to go out the door. He can afford to make a non-strike, not a mistake, but a non-strike somewhere along the way.
Yeah. Looks like Stu did try a different ball here and leaves himself a 2-8-10.
Shades of what Nick Verano did a little bit earlier over on lane 13. Sure, the 2 is not the 4. However, the same amount of damage is going to be done. And this could cost Stu game 1.
Yeah, so he gets only 2 here. And he can go out for 195 now. Nick only needs to stay clean, I believe, because he has 230. Yes, if he stays clean, he will win game 1.
Yeah, 2 marks with good count will put him high 190s, 200. And as you said, best that Stu can do is a 195.
Yes. And if Nick strikes here, you can say he knows what's at stake. He knows he has an opening here. If he can steal this first game here, it can set the tone for a very interesting best-of-7 match. And that is 10 down.
We heard some whistles in the back from some of the members of Rogue. That may not have been exactly where he wanted to put it. He did, however, get the results that he not only wanted, but needed. Now all of a sudden he can relax a little bit in the 10th. Obviously, he does not need a strike here. He cannot do what Stu Williams did in the 9th frame.
No, not at all.
But 9 spare is a winner. If he doesn't get a spare, it depends on what he does get.
And Nick steps up to win the first game, and he gets them all down to go. So Nick will win game 1 over Stu Williams.
I'm Stu Williams now. Not a big deal. Okay, I made a couple of stupid mistakes on lane 13. I think, again, this is any contract match like this, best of 7. This is not a sprint. This is a marathon. I think Stu's just going to shrug and go, so what? Whatever. Still very much in this one. And Nick... I think Nick needed this one much more than Stewart did. And fortunately for Nick, he got it. It does set the pace, and he knows, okay, I can beat him once. Now I only need to beat him 3 more times. Only, but again, better than, oh, darn, I'm down 0-1 in a game that I almost certainly should have had.
Yeah. As Nick does throw another strike there. So now for Nick, do you keep on doing what you're doing with this line and this ball, or do you try to see if something might be different, try something out? Looks like he's going to stick with what he's doing and sticking with what he's got, not anticipating much of a breakdown, because, again, it is a one-on-one match. You don't have other bowlers messing up your line. You only have you and your opponent.
I think this shot's going to be a little bit of an area check, because if I am Nick right now, I try to figure out, okay, what other angles can I get in so that I don't do over here what I did earlier. Looks like he did that very successfully. Nick's going to take game 1.
Yeah, and I think he did actually throw a different ball for that shot compared to what he was throwing earlier in the match.
Let's ask Nick. He's right here. Nick, do you do any sort of ball change in the 10th frame?
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. So I'm not sure if you overheard what Nick said. He did do a ball change. He did do something different.
All right, and Stu did go to a different ball again off his last shot and did leave a 10-pin here. So he's also, I mean, when you split, you got to try something out, especially when the game's out. Use this to see what the lanes are going to give you for game 2 and game 3, 4, 5, etc.
Yeah, we now have some dead whiskey.
Yeah, Stu's going to take it out, it looks like.
Yeah.
But he's going to go on the second ball because he definitely wants to have that.
Fill shot, yeah.
Yes, he wants that fill shot. He needs to see what he's got.
So, fill shot's there. He's going to take another shot. There is no doubt in my mind, and I think you agree with me, that he's going to use a different ball. He's going to do something different. Stu actually, again, looked very good at the beginning, but didn't really get the carry, and then that obviously what he did on 13 in frame 7 and 9, yikes on that, so he's got to figure that out. Didn't like that one either, so he's got a little bit of work to do. At the end of game 1, Nick Varano, the challenger, 230. Stu Williams, 183. Rogue up 1-0.
Yes, Nick Varano up 1-0. If he gets the 4 wins before Stu does, he will win himself a Storm contract. So there is a lot here at stake for Mr. Varano.
How many games? 1. 10 minutes of practice. I thought it was. And it was 6 bowlers for 1 game. 20 games on this player.
I don't know what they're trying to do, but they're trying to do something.
Oh, he's putting Stu's putting the game totals on top.
That is a great idea, by the way.
Wow,
I forgot you can do that over.
Stu helping us out. Look at that. Well, not helping, more so helping out the audience. If they tune in and they're like, oh, what's the count? They can now look on the screen. The count is right on screen. It might be a little hard to see.
I was born this years old when I realized changing the team name will get you the number of wins that you have on top.
Yes.
I love that.
Well.
We are joined by one Sean Dyke face on.
The voice of the people, the voice of choice.
Oh, man. Well, I made a choice to bowl earlier, and that didn't matter, but that's neither here nor there. What's going on over here? What did I miss?
Miss Nick Varano winning game 1.
Oh, well, go, Nicky, go.
And,
See, that looked like what Sean Dyke did earlier on lanes 13 and 14.
Yes. A lot of pocket, little carry.
But I think what Nick will do will be different than what Sean Dyke does, because I think
yes,
Nick
I think he might make the spare.
Oh. Sidebar, I missed. I was the only one that missed 0 10 pins. Thank you. Unfortunately,
Did you miss a 9-pin, though?
You lights flickering on your left and right will kind of mess with you.
Top 10 excuses
yeah,
of why I
the cloud got very dark.
Pin.
I wonder who was standing around.
Anywho.
Didn't realize that there's weather formations that existed in this bowling alley.
Yes.
Who earns?
All right, so 10-pin picked up by Nick as Stu steps up on the right lane, looking to find the pocket again after he lost it at the end of the first game. And he did find it back again.
Yeah, and again, Stu Williams, fine, he takes a loss. I really think in his mind, it's like, okay, fine, whatever, big deal. I'll just beat him this game, and I'll be tied 1-1. And it goes back to the best of instead of me being down 0-2. That's what I think Stu's thinking.
I don't know what he's thinking. I think he's thinking, Delaware's a great place to bowl.
I think, you know what? I really enjoyed my 300 earlier on. And I want to shoot more high scores. And maybe I'll take my anger out on Nick this game.
Yeah, I mean, after shooting a 180, he might have a little more anger issues. He goes back to another ball on the left lane. Unfortunately, leaves himself the 4-7-10 split.
We were talking about lanes 13 and 14 and how sometimes they can be a little bit tricky than everything else. Now, keep in mind, this is the first time that Stu has bowled on these lanes, just like everybody else. So he's trying to figure it out. Right now, not liking what he's seeing. And he almost did the exact same impersonation that Nick did earlier on when he left the 40-10.
Yes, he only gets a 7 off the rack. So leaving 2 pins on the board potentially. And Nick sees another opening here. Like he did late in game 1, if he throws that double, he can take a big lead early on here in game 2.
Yeah, he could have. Stu could have hit the double. He did not. Nick now has a chance, as you said, to take a lead. If he does double, as you said, that could put a lot of pressure on Stu Williams. There is strike number 1. Third frame here, and he's had a decent look on lane 13. I can argue that his look on 13 is a little bit better than Stu Williams, if he made the correct adjustment, because that's what he was looking to do earlier.
Yeah, I think he did make an adjustment off the 4-8-10 lead, and maybe he's found it from there, because he hasn't missed since then. All right, Nick steps up here, gets it out, gets it in, and leaves a weak 10 pin.
It's a weak 10 pin, but it is makeable. He did not leave any friends to go along with the 10 pin.
Correct.
So I personally think he does have a better look than Stu does over on 13. Obviously, not too confident in that look either. Both bowlers struggling on that lane, and I really think game 2 is going to be decided on who can figure out lane 13 first.
Yes, I believe so too. Though I do think Nick has the better look at the moment, but if Stu finds that look on the left lane, it could turn the tide in the match real quick. As Stu steps up here on the right lane, now he's back in a position where, he'll still be down after this frame, but if he strikes here, he can get it close. And unfortunately, the 9-pin stands.
A little bit of a break for Varano right now. As I said, I think he's got the better look. If this match is not a carry contest and it becomes a spare-making contest and a grind, you've got to go with the bowler that's got the early lead. In this case, it's Verano by 14. Stu Williams, despite the spare, won't catch up to him because both bowlers are on spares as we go into the 4th frame. If you just joined us, challenger Nick Verano up 1-0 over Stu Williams. And you can see it over here. We have the running game totals up on the top corner on the screens. So you can see what's going on. And right now what's going on is Stu Williams not getting any looks on the carry. Nick Varano certainly has, or at least has gotten a better look.
Although
I just said that there's a strike.
Yes, I think that was what Stu was looking for. He was looking for the right spot for that ball specifically. And it is definitely finally found where he wants to put it. But we'll see next time he's on 13 if he can continue putting it where it needs to be.
All about placement right now at this point. Stu thinks he's got something. Again, the bigger issue, which he thinks he's figured out, is lane 13. Now he's also got to keep 14 going on. Last time he was there at 9 spare. Nick Verano resetting after some, let's just say, shenanigans on lanes 11 and 12.
Yes, like I said earlier, the UBA Uncapped event is going on.
Uncapped, unleashed, and sometimes unhinged.
Yes. All right, Nick steps up now after the distraction and is not fazed by the distraction as he puts 10 down on the right lane. Again, the right lane, both bowlers looking good on. It's the left lane, lane 13, that both our bowlers are a little iffy about.
I think, if anything, maybe Nick needs to do a little thank you over to the guy that stepped over between lanes 12 and 13 because it forces them to stop and reset. Could be MVP right now.
Yes.
I said we got it. I said we got it. I said we got it. We got it. We got it. We got it. We got it.
All right, Nick steps up in here in the left lane. And the left lane has been causing issues, and it continue to cause issues as the 310 is left up.
Maybe he wants the guy on lane 12 to move over to lane 13 and throw his strikes for him.
Yeah.
Right now, no one's got the answer on lane 13. The only problem here is that Stu Williams finally did get a strike there. Moving to lane 14, you have to think Stu is, even though he's trailing, he's got a little bit of an advantage to get those pins back and retake the lead. Of course, we're also making the assumption that Nick does not make the spare here. If he does, he'll hold on to the lead And he does.
Yep, picks up the baby split and maintains the lead for now.
For now.
All right, Stu steps on the right lane. He needs this strike if he wants to get back in this match again. And he puts all 10 down. Very nice shot.
Really nice shot for Stu. Stu's also now looking to see what's going on under the pair. We've had, shall we say, entertainment unlimited this weekend.
To say the least.
To say the least. Verbal shenanigans. But then again, this is the UBA.
Okay. Stu can cut the lead down to 3 here. Oh, so 4 here, I'm sorry. 4 if he throws a strike.
Actually, no, if he throws a strike, he takes the lead. Because right now, the best that Nick can do is a 250.
Oh, well, you're basing off of that. I'm basing off of if they go strike spares.
Well, no, because Nick right now, 100.
Yes. So Stu can take a 6-pin lead, and he
sure will.
That was a big shot. And Stu now has a 3-bagger.
Major advantage right now to Mr. Williams to tying this up. What you said, Ken Aitner, absolutely right. Whoever figures out lane 13 first is going to win. That right now, that answer is Stu Williams.
Yeah.
Now striking here in the second half of this game, Nick Varano still up 1 zip if he wants to keep it that way. Has got to start striking on 14 and start striking in a hurry, because what's dangerous here is that it looked like Stu Williams got comfortable.
Yes. Now, Nick has the right lane figured out. He has 14 locked in.
Yes, he does.
But now he has to figure out 13. He has to figure out now.
Now as in right now.
Yes. Like this shot, he has to strike.
Now.
Because if he doesn't and Stu comes up with a double, it's going to get out of reach here really quick for game 2.
Yeah, and like I said with Stu game 1, I'm going to say the same thing with Nick game 2. If Nick does not strike here, he's running out of frames. Dealing with a 6-pin deficit, okay, fine, no issues. 26 with 3 frames left against Stu Williams, that is not a good sign.
No, not at all. All right, big shot here from Nick Varano on the left lane. The lane that's been causing issues for both bowlers here. Let's see if he can figure it out. And, that sounded good, and it looks even better.
Definitely needed that one. Without question. That is actually the first... Yeah, that's the first time this game that Nick Varano's thrown a strike on lane 13.
Yes. The Duncan. That's mine, yeah. All right, Stu up in the right lane, looking for the 4-bagger and gets them all down.
A little bit sloppy, but it's still effective.
And now Stu says on the left lane. You can see it is now exactly a 6-pin game. Stu is up by 6.
What I said earlier about Nick Varano, I'm not going to say about Stu Williams here. If Stu Williams throws a strike in the 8th, he will maintain the lead. Nick cannot shut him out. And then Stu will be able to see exactly what he needs after Nick Varano completes the 8th and 9th frame.
But that's, of course, hinging on if Stu throws this strike here. Gets it out, and it comes back. Nice shot. All right, so like I said, Stu cannot be shut out here. Well, Nick's up and he's going to get to 9th frame first. And we'll see if Stu needs 2 strikes, all 3 strikes in the 9th and 10th.
Or less.
Or less, depending on what Nick does here in the 8th and 9th frames.
Yeah, that's pretty much accurate. If I'm Nick Smith, I'm thinking striker or bust at this point.
Yeah, he's definitely in the mode. He's like, I need to throw both these strikes here. I need him to force the game.
You need that, and then if you do that, then you need a tap somewhere from Stuart Williams. First things first. This one's got to be a strike.
And this lane, he's good on this lane.
I'm not sure about he's good. I'm not sure about either of them being good. Both shots a little bit on the high side. The pins have been falling for now, but keep an eyeball on it, especially for Stu in the 10th frame if all of a sudden he needs it.
Yeah. All right, now this shot here on lane 13 will be a telltale sign of what Game 2 is going to look like for Stu in the 10th frame. Because if Nick strikes, we know Stu's going to need the next 3 to lock him out.
Right.
If Stu doesn't strike, he only needs, a mark and 2 strikes?
Depends on what the non-strike is.
Yes.
And it depends on what the non-strike is.
And he doesn't like it.
There's a reason for it.
Yeah, there is. I believe that's 2-8. Yeah, 2-8 double wood.
I don't want to say the game is over yet, but Nick took a lot of pressure off Stu Williams.
Yes, for sure.
Best Nick can do is a 228.
Meanwhile, Stu can go out for 256.
Yes, sir. So now you got a 28-pin cushion, which means a strike and any good mark in the 10th will be good for Stu Williams to tie this one up.
Yeah, spare made by Varano.
Yeah, Verano's not happy about that shot, and he knows it.
Yeah. All right, Stu's going to step on the right lane.
This is how I shoot.
He just needs this strike and good enough count in the 10th to lock things up, and he puts 10 back, splitting the 8-9.
Yeah, this one's over.
Yeah, Stu just needs count now, and he'll win this game. Well, he needs a mark.
So it's not over.
Yes. He needs a mark, though. Can't leave anything weird.
I'm trying to do math here about what 9 open is. 9 open, I think, may be good enough. But if it's not 9 open, if it's, as you said, if he leaves anything weird, he's got to clean it up.
But that's not anything weird. That's nothing he left.
Yeah, or in this case, he doesn't need anything because strike wins.
Yeah. So this game will be tied up. This match will be tied up 1 game apiece. So now he's got to tell a best of 5 here.
Best of 5. 3 games wins. Or 3 more wins, I should say.
All right, Stu going to use the last few shots to try to see what else works here on the left lane, and that's not worked.
Yeah, we're going to be tied 1 game apiece. And any issues that Stu had on either lane 13 or 14, he has clearly worked out. I still think lane 14 could be an issue if you decide to go a little bit higher rather than a mix.
Is almost ready to go to the second game.
Stu leads himself, looks like the 7-10, but it's all for naught here as Stu has finished off this game and will take a 1-1, 254. We'll make it 1 game apiece after 2.
Yeah, that 7-10 that just showed up, Nick needed to see that a couple of balls earlier.
So if you're Nick here, I mean, you're locked in on the right lane, but the last shot came up a little high, so we might move a little left and see what else he has here. But yeah, he's still looking good on that right lane. But that right lane could go in any minute. It could just all of a sudden burn up on you out of nowhere.
I think it'll burn up closer to Stu Williams than Nick Varano. And the reason why I say that is check out the speed of the ball. Nick's throwing it significantly faster than Stu, and therefore that ball's going to be able to pick up a little bit quicker. Hence, he doesn't need to worry as much on when the lanes break down. I know people are going to say, Gordon, what are you talking about? You're just looking at angle of entry at this point. Yes, Stu Williams is a fantastic bowler. I'm not taking anything away from him. He's really, really good. I'm just noting on lane 14, angle of entry and the speed of the angle of entry. Right now on that, later on, maybe advantage Verono, but right now, obviously, game 2, advantage Stu Williams.
Yes.
There's 2 ways that I do the tour stop. Sometimes I shoot tour stops exactly the way I'm doing it, like this. Yeah. I'll do scratch, just like this. I'll shoot scratch.
So now I know that Nick tried he's trying 2 different balls here, seeing which ball is best, but he just tried all 3 shots with 3 different balls on the right lane.
Yeah, and that last one was a nice mixer. Let's see if he goes into that. But at the end of game 2, Stu Williams, 254. Waiting on the final result here. And Nick Varano, 228. We're tied, 1-1.
So, but the reason why I shoot like
And Stu will start things up here on the left lane.
almost any content that we have.
So, you know my thoughts in terms of how I see this match progressing. Who's got, obviously, tied one piece, so no one has a current advantage, but who do you think is going to have the future advantage?
Like I said, you said something about it. If lanes break down, it might hurt Stu more because he has a slower ball speed. But I think Stu also has more experience, so I think that if the lanes do break down in a certain way, Stu will find the way to adjust to it quicker than Nick will, as Stu starts off with a strike on lane 13.
I'm in complete agreement with you on that, by the way. I think the breakdown will go quicker first for Stu, but I think he will figure it out quicker versus when it happens for Nick.
Correct.
So these
Completely in agreement with you on that.
That being said, I think this game's going to be a strike fest, personally,
Of course it is.
for both bowlers.
I think you had a little bit of a grinding game too, but I think that's gone. I think Stu's figured it out. I think Nick's definitely figured out lane 14. If lane 13 is now tamed instead of being squirrely, we could see 279 being a losing score here.
Yes, we very well could.
So I invested in like 4 handheld microphones.
So we saw, not the highest scores, like I said, we saw 180 from Stu and then a 220 from Nick both games.
I got 2 handhelds. Right.
I think, yeah, exactly. You had the 180 and then you had the 228. Those are your losing scores. Your higher losing score. I think your losing score this game is going to be higher than 228. I agree with you there.
Yeah. Nick coming back with a different ball again.
So I feel like
But this might be just for the left lane here.
I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
don't find me
It certainly looks like both lanes are playing different from each other.
Yes.
mostly.
And we'll see if Nick finds the line here on the left lane. He's moving in and found a good line, but unfortunately left a 9.
Squirrel.
I mean, that was a good shot. I think
It was a really good shot.
Yeah.
We're talking about squirrely lanes before, and we talk about how lane 13 has been squirrely. Lane 14 has been the one that I feel that both bowlers have better control over. I definitely feel that Nick, especially with all the ball changes on 14, has got a much better look on 14 than 13. That being said, should it have been a strike? Absolutely.
yeah.
Difference is going in this match, and definitely this game in terms of carry, it's going to come down to millimeters. I mean, that's what bowling is.
Yes. Yay bowling.
So we have to develop like a one-man show version.
All right, Stu steps up on the right lane.
Well, here's the...
And, yeah, he hasn't missed much, if at all, in the last about 10 shots.
If you noticed, he made a little bit of an adjustment, noting where the ball is going. Angle of entry.
Yes.
Maybe he overheard me, but if he keeps it there, that's going to stay for a little bit.
If Stu is taking lessons from you...
If Stu's taking lessons from me, that's one sign of the apocalypse right there.
Yes,
I'd like to
exactly.
point that out. I am not claiming to be a pro bowling ball expert by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just commenting what I'm seeing, and I'm seeing it's different.
Yeah. He definitely is moving in the ball a lot more in right now, anticipating probably the move. But unfortunately, I think on that shot, the move was just too much too early. Mm-hmm. And the ball didn't quite have the correct entry angle on that one specific shot. And no problem on the 10 pin this time.
One thing that I'm going to say, obviously there have been opens. Neither bowler has missed a makeable spare.
Stu didn't miss the 10 pin.
I'm sorry, I take that back. Thank you for proving me wrong. All right, it happened once on this match.
Mark it down. August 10th, 2025. Kenny Latham proved Gordon Pepper wrong.
There's been more times.
First time in, we don't know, about 14 years, 15 years.
Maybe second.
Battle Bowl 2. Going all the way back to Battle Bowl 2.
I love it. So, like, the fact that I can...
Anyway, Nick steps up here on the right lane. This is the good lane for him, but unfortunately, that was not a good shot.
No. That was a bad shot. That skirted out of his OMC. One thing that you're noticing off of Nick, when he throws a bad shot, body language, he knows it.
Yeah,
Right.
but
It's not like when you get to that level in terms of how good you are as a bowler. If you throw a shot and you know it's bad, you can just read the body language immediately. Like, no, that's not a strike. I'm going to go down and figure out how to make this fair.
yeah, if it was a shot he thought was good and that left that, you'd see like his arms shrug. I was doing that a lot yesterday. I was like, what's going on here? Spare made though, makes the 4-8, which can be tricky, especially when you hook at it, but he did make it.
Camera person kind of needs 3. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can't have 2.5
Right
hours.
now, a slight edge for Stu Williams. So up by around 10 pins. It's early, especially because neither bowler right now is carrying. They're both on spares.
I mean, yeah, that's just recency bias though, because they carried a lot at the end of the second game.
Second game was a carry contest. First game was we're going to try to figure out what we're doing. And maybe I was a little bit hasty in saying I did not think this was not just a grind game, but an adjustment game. Maybe this is an adjustment game, and we got a ball. Whoop.
Little foot issue here. Gonna see what's going on.
The salty tears of bowlers that Stu Williams has beaten earlier on in Battle Bowl may have protruded on the lanes 13 and 14.
Oh, okay. We're going there, aren't we?
Cause people getting stuck. Am I going there? Sure, we got time to fill.
All right, Nick steps up here on lane 13, the tough lane as we've known, and gets it out and leaves a nasty 10-pin. That was a good shot.
I thought it was a good shot. I think that's one of the shots where you're saying that Nick is now shrugging his shoulders and be like, well...
Yeah, that's just bad break, ringing 10-pin.
Yep.
That's part of life when it comes to bowling.
I wasn't a huge fan of it, of that cutting to the maybe like the first 20 times you do it.
All right, looks like 10-pin
But now when you get to the 20
knocked down.
all of a sudden you're going to be like, you're going to forget.
And even though he doesn't have any strikes yet, Stu still needs to
Forget the timing.
not make any hiccups here. He needs to keep the pedal to the metal and gets it out, gets it in, and gets 10 down.
Yeah, I don't think either of us think that 180-190 is going to be a winning score here.
No, I don't think so.
So I think we both think Nick is going to figure it out, and he's going to double, and that means Stu, if he wants to get the upper hand, needs to figure it out and double first. That being said, if he does it here, now he's looking at a 20-pin lead, approximately, over Nick.
Yeah, so Stu does want to put a small hammer early on here in the third game. He needs to strike here. And the slow wheel is starting to work for Stu's favor here, as that was a perfect shot.
If you notice, Stu is starting on that left side, and he's throwing it out on the left-hand side. He's letting the ball hook in. A little bit different than how Nick's playing the lanes.
Yeah, he's playing much more in than Nick is right now. Nick's definitely more in the... I wouldn't say the middle lane. He's further right of middle, but Stu is definitely using all the oil that he can. Nick gets his ball out really wide and leaves another 9-pin.
Yeah, I thought the breakdown was going to happen for Stu first. It hasn't. It's happened for Nick first. That despite what I thought was a really good look over at the end of the second game with all the ball changes.
Yeah, so I mean the ball looks like it's working. It's just that he's just coming in a little high and left those 2 9-pins, and then he's also left a 10-pin this game.
I just look at it from directing, like when it's a really big.
But no issue on the 9-pin.
And then getting that look on their face.
But Nick definitely needs to start striking and start striking fast if he wants to stay in this game, specifically this game.
Yeah, 4 spares do not beat two doubles surrounded by a spare. So right now it looks like 23-pin difference between Nick and Stu, and Nick's got to figure out how to make up those 23 pins in the second half of Game 3. If you just joined us, we are tied 1 game apiece. Challenger took Game 1. Contract holder took Game 2. And now Nick has not been able to strike on either lane, which is bad because the last 2 frames that Stu Williams has been bowling on, he's found strikes in both spots.
So that we can set someone on one side without interrupting gameplay. small things like that. But all right, well, listen, I'm very interested. So.
All right. Nick stepping up for another 10-pin. And this one, a little further left of where I think he was most comfortable, but he gets it done. And now Stu will step up and trying to put a hammerlock on game 3. Even though it's only halfway done, it could be put out of reach real quick if he doubles here.
I'm not sure if it's going to be a hammerlock, but he's going to put, I agree with you, he's going to put a dump truck load of pressure on Nick Varano, especially if this one hits, and it will not. 7 pin.
7-pin stands up. Even a little light.
Where do you live? Oh, I live in Brooklyn, New York. Oh, my God. How long did it take? Oh, no, I flew there.
Stu did have a reaction. I didn't quite hear what he said. I think he was talking to some of the Storm guys that are here. But 7-pin does stand. No problem making it. And now we can see, since they're both on spares, we have an exact score update. And it is a 23-pin lead for Stu here. So even though Nick only has the 1 strike all game, he's still only a mark and a half out of the game.
Yeah, well, or a double out of the game. So it's pretty evident for Nick that he's got to figure out how to make strikes. But you're right. Game is not out. 23 pins is definitely makeable. And I think Stu even knows that. I think the reason why I was chatting a little bit is that he knew he did not throw a good shot.
Yeah. All right, back on 13, which he's sort of kind of figured out here a little bit, but this time another 10-pin.
Well, maybe the second half of game 3, Stu returns in favor of Nick, and he starts throwing spares, opening the door to Nick Varano. If he wants to start throwing strikes, he's got 4 frames left to do it. If he goes out the door, it's a 225, and that means that Stu's got to start carrying.
Yeah. So but the key is here is Nick starts striking because Nick hasn't struck in 5 frames. And Stu just missed another 10-pin.
As you correct me, that's open number 2. Both of them for 10 pins for Stu Williams. That cost him game 1, by the way. We're going to see if it costs him game 3.
I mean, maybe this will calm Nick's nerves down a little bit. Now he sees an opening here. I mean, he's still down in the game. So it's not.
Yes and no. He's down in the game, but if he doubles, the deficit will be 1 pin.
That is true. Which is a big difference from the 23 that it was not too long ago.
The biggest compliment we have.
Let's see if Nick gets on here now. And that was a nice shot.
That was buried. And I'm maybe thinking he lost confidence in his shot. That was a buried shot. He followed through. He really pulled it. It looked like that he had a little swagger in that step. And maybe that was because he saw, wait a second, he just blew the 10-pin. I've got a shot at this one.
Yeah, now it's like, okay, the door's open. It's time for us to try to get through that door that was open for us and get it down to a 1-pin game.
1-pin game. All of a sudden, even if Stu throws a double, it's only a 1-pin game at that point versus a spare, in which case Stu can go right back to work and not feel much pressure. 1 pin, he's going to feel pressure.
All right. And Nick gets it out and trips the 10-pin. Not the prettiest of strikes, but it got the job done.
Is it just me, or are both bowlers playing completely different on lane 13 than it is on 14?
I believe
13, Nick Varano all the way on the left-hand side, 14 sort of on the right-hand side.
Yeah, they're both playing much further left. Oh, dang.
I've been working with UBA for so long.
Well, that's what we in the business call
So I have a title.
a Randy or a Chris. We hear Randy from the commentators behind us, the unpaid commentators. Yeah.
We have a lot of unpaid commentators here. we call them A, the fans, and B, sometimes the crazy gallery.
Yes.
But that atmosphere is always lovable. That's the great thing about a UBA.
That's the best part of UBA is hearing all the commentary from the back.
It's the crazy gallery, yes.
All right.
Oh, he threw that all the way out on the left-hand side, and still.
Yeah, that was a little for that. And you can see he's starting to lose a little bit of the swagger that he had earlier in this game because he knows now he just lost the lead.
Well, not only does he lose the lead, if he decides that he wants to be just as generous in this frame as he was in the 7th frame, he'll be giving not just the spare away, but the game away.
And
he's going to overcompensate. Oh, no, he does not. I was about to say, he may overcompensate on that. Ooh.
My miss left instead of missing right, but he made it, though.
He did make it. All
right.
Just like, yeah.
You know, like,
But
So-
the question is, has the damage been done this game?
Well, Nick needs a strike here. Nick throws a strike, he takes the lead. If he spares, he cannot shut Stu out this game.
Correct. And there is a tie potential here.
Yes. All right. Nick Varano steps up in the 9th frame on the right lane, gets it out. The pin dances, and we get the messenger over to take the 10 out. Now Nick steps up. All he needs is a strike here, and I believe he locks Stu out from game 3.
Best that Stu Williams do at this point is a 215. Nick can go out for 235. He needs a strike. If he doesn't get it, it depends on what he leaves.
Yes.
you know, when you're getting someone for this, it's like.
Well, if he throws a 9, if he
Nick goes out the door for 235.
yeah, if Nick goes 9 spare strikes, Stu needs all 3 to win by 1.
Correct.
Any idea? I told Phil that. I was like, Phil was like, I know I make it look easy this season, but I usually get paid for the troubleshooting.
All right, Nick gets up, needs a strike, and he gets it. And that will most likely, barring a catastrophe, be game number 3 to Nick Verano.
Right now, he's asking about number count over to his group of friends. We'll chat with a couple of them momentarily. Part of that may also be communication of, okay, this game is over. What sort of equipment shall I be using?
Yeah.
And theoretically, as long as he keeps it on the lane, this game is over.
All right, looks like he's throwing the same ball just a lot. Make sure he ensures the game. And that will be the confirmation that game 3 will go to Nick Verano. And Nick will take a 2-1 lead in this best of 7.
You know, we talk about that missed spare. That missed spare, once again, coming back to fight Stu Williams. Stu Williams had a chance to put this one away. He was up by 23. All of a sudden, that even if he made the spare in the 7th frame, he's still up. I really feel that all of a sudden, that's when Nick Varano woke up. He's finishing up with 5 in a row. One more here will make it 6 in a row. On the finish, nope.
Well, that was definitely a ball test. I saw him speaking to, I believe he was talking to his father behind us, saying, should I try this ball out? And he decided to give it a shot. Didn't finish, but now he knows what that ball specifically will do on the lane going forward in the rest of this match. Because this match is still not over by a long shot. It's only game 3. There's still potentially 4 more games to go.
Oh, I think Stu's going to take this loss and focus on game 2 the same way that he took the loss and focus on game 1. He's like, okay, fine, whatever, no big deal. He's got 2 games on me. That's okay. 3 games does not win this. It takes 4. So I really think he's going to shrug his shoulders and go, okay, fine, I'll just take game 4, and then we'll be even again. That's what I really feel. There's the change that he probably needed to get the first strike. That strike does mean that Stu Williams will finish somewhere in the 200s.
Yeah, and
somewhere in the 2 teens.
Stu is trying out other equipment as well, as you can see, seeing which line will give him the best look here. He's going to a 3rd ball just to see what it does.
He made an announcement that it was good after that. Because of that, I was going 720. But I wasn't happy with that. I had the 1 camera on the 3, and I had 1
and triple to 4 pin.
Right on the scratch.
I think he would rather prefer those breaks for when they really matter, like not when the game's out.
Yeah, I think he would have preferred that in the 7th frame.
Right.
At the end of game 3, Nick Varano 233, Stu Williams 213, challenger up 2-1.
Yes, challenger Nick Verano, representing Rogue, again, North Jersey, home of Gordon Pepper.
That is my district.
But I heard that he's actually from upstate New York, so.
That is correct, too. I'm going to grab somebody from Rogue. I want to see what they think is going on. Hold on one moment.
All right, we're going to get ourselves someone here.
There's been times where, all right, so there was one time.
All right.
Well, you're in.
So right now, I have one of Nick Varano's teammates from Rogue. His name is Michael Malley. I want to see what you think of how Nick is doing so far.
He's doing good. He's controlling his emotions well. It's tough, you know. You're bowling against one of the best in the world, and you know, he's a great bowler. But Nick's great too. So he's doing well. He's just got to keep going, and yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say.
No, that's good. Thank you, Mike.
All right, as you saw on camera, both Nick and Stu have started off game 4 with strikes. So we saw Stu lose a little bit of line in the middle there at the end of game 3. Let's see if he can find something here, especially on the left lane where he's struggling the most, and that is not what he wanted to do, losing the 4-6.
That is the wrong sort of double.
Yeah. So, again, the left lane coming back into play. We saw it in game 2, and then we saw it again at the end of game 3 for Stu, where he's kind of lost it a little bit, left a few 10 pins, and now tries something different, and it comes in really high, leaving himself a split that's going to need a miracle to pick up, and that miracle does not happen.
That does not. Now a huge break for Varano. There hasn't really been any point in any of the games so far that someone gotten a big lead and just held on. This has been back and forth all 3 games, and it's been close in the middle. This is the one game that, and this could be turning point of the match, then Nick goes, you know what, I'm feeling pretty good on both lanes. Let me start running and force Stu to catch me.
Yeah. So if he grows his double here, well, double starts with a single, but that ball jumped up, and now maybe Nick's losing a little bit of lead in 14 here as he leaves a 3-6-10.
Or we can be completely wrong, and Nick doesn't want to take that much of a lead on anybody.
Listen, I think he wanted to take the lead, but the lane didn't give it to him.
Yeah, 14 said, no, we want a good, tight, competitive match all 7 games. Here's a 3-6-10 for you. Go figure me out.
Yeah, 3-6-10, always a very tricky, like it looks easy, but it's very tricky to pick up. So nothing's a given here. Let's see how Nick attacks it. And he's going to throw a little bit of a fast hook at it and no problems.
Yeah, I think speed is going to be key here for Nick, especially with all the shots that he's playing. And I say that in a good way, not a bad. Even, okay, he doesn't have the double, but he's still got a lead. He's got a 12-pin lead over Stu Williams going into the 3rd frame.
Yeah, all because Stu did throw that split as opposed to a spare. So it could be potentially 12 pins if a strike happens here.
For the handicap pair, I think it goes up maybe this high. I try to get as high as possible. I'll get those. When do you need those legs? For the tonight.
Varano steps up again, playing very deep now on the left lane and gets all 10 down.
Beautiful shot from Varano. That ball was buried. So, sort of figured out something on lane 13. It's almost sort of reversed of what we had earlier, where whoever figured out 13 wins. Now it could be whoever figures out 14 wins.
Yeah, well, Stu's having trouble on 13. Nick might be having trouble on 14. Stu's striking again on 14. So Stu right now trying to figure out the left lane. Nick just has to figure out the right lane, especially at the last shot.
You're going to set up your psychiatry office. They're going to sit down. Kenny Latham, I have a problem with the left-hand side. And then you have the one with Kenny Latham, I have a problem with the right-hand side. Help me. Right lane versus left lane.
Yeah, well, let's see if Stu figures out his left lane, like we said. He left the split here last time.
He did.
He's leaving way in and comes in very light, but gets the light mixer to fall.
Hey, hot, Mom!
I want to show you, like,
She's hot, Mom!
All right, on the right lane, Nick Verono will step up. Last shot, he left himself a 3-6-10 here. Let's see if he makes the correct an adjustment off of this. So will Nick move left and play on line on 14, similar to what he's playing on 13? Because, again, last time on 14, he came in very high, leaving a 3-6-10. And it looks like he moved left a little bit, not a ton, and came in high again. So that right lane's starting to give Nick a little bit of problems overhooking for him.
Yeah, to answer that question, the answer is nope. In terms of did Nick figure out lane 14.
Yeah.
Now, a spare will at least minimize the damage because, again, Stu opened in the 2nd frame. So at least if he makes the spare, and this is makeable, he'll get back to a tight situation with Stu. If he opens, then Stu will take the lead on him. And again, this is almost sort of a Von Stu Williams. I don't need to win this game, but I'd rather have even this one.
Yeah, and spare made.
Go rope!
So big spare there for Varano, as if he missed that, his hole would be even deeper. He's in a little bit of hole now because he made the spare there. But also hinges on whether Stu can keep striking, which hasn't been a guarantee at all this match.
Yeah, if Stu does throw a strike in the fifth, he will take the lead. If he doesn't, because of that conversion, Nick will still have the lead going into the fifth frame here in Game 4. Nick Varano up 2-1, looking to extend it to 3-1.
Yeah. So this is the line that Nick has, and yeah, he's locked in on his left lane. So left lane, I bet if these two bowlers had the option, Nick would stay on the left lane all match and Stu on the right lane all match, and they might shoot 300 each. But because we're not doing anything like that,
unfortunately, according to the rules of bowling that are done by the USBC, and what I think Storm would prefer also, is each bowler bowls on both lanes. Does it happen all the time? No. Oh.
And Stu now losing the right lane.
That'd be great. It's really just
and I'm saying this, when both bowlers are making a mistake this time, they are paying for it in a maximum penalty situation. Unlike the 4 pins that Nick left, this is a different pattern. This is no more as the Big Four, and the difficulty level is a lot harder on this than what Verano had to face.
Yeah, Stu going to give it a run and tease a little bit, but nothing pops out. So we have an open frame for Stu Williams in the fifth, and now Nick is up a full strike here after 5.
Yeah, Stu goes from strike, I take the lead, to open, and now I'm down by 20, maybe 30 pins.
Yes.
And the more consistent
yikes.
That's bowling for you.
That is bowling. However, Nick Verano, if you saw the look on his face when he's there, and bowlers are not completely emotional, but now he's nodding his head up and down. He's like, you know what? I think I'm liking this right now. Gotta like that even more with that 10 pin. It's wiggling and it's not falling down.
And we do have slow racks here. 10 pins haven't been falling late, but not that time.
And Stu Williams really wants to avoid missed 10 pin number 3 at this point.
Yes. Especially because every time he's missed a 10 pin, he's lost that game.
Correct.
But he was a little worried, but he made it.
He does make that one. However, and a big however here, we said earlier, the second frame, when Stu Williams opened, that Nick Varano had a chance to take control of this game. That didn't happen. Now in the sixth frame, with another open by Stu Williams, Nick Varano really has the option to take control of this game.
Yeah, especially if he throws a double here, which, this shot is going to be huge, because the right lane is the one he's having the most issues with. Let's see if he can figure out his right lane. And it looks like he upped the speed a little bit, and that was 10 back.
We were talking about speed earlier, and I said, and if you do remember, I did say I thought Verano was going to have an edge on this because of the speed and how he was throwing it. It's coming to fruition now, and if he continues to be as masterful this game on 13 as he has been, he has not thrown a miss here. Stu Williams can be in deep trouble this game.
Yeah.
Maybe the match.
And yeah, because if he wins this game, it's going to be a 3-1 lead, and that's going to be a hard hill for Stu to climb back from out of. But again, still kind of early. We're only halfway through this game, but a strike here makes it like a 40-pin game, maybe 30 or 40-pin game. And this is the lane that Nick has pretty much on lockdown.
Verano right now, again, taking advantage of mistakes that Stu Williams has made this game. Stu Williams has had 2 opens. Nick Verano 0 this game. And the spare conversion in the fourth frame, which is turning out to be much bigger at this point than what we thought it was going to be.
Absolutely. And Stu standing up knowing he needs a double here, and he needs it now.
Yeah, so we're looking at the scores. If Stu goes out the door, it's a 220. Obviously, Nick on a much higher pace. And the bigger problem with Stu is that a couple more strikes, and Nick may not need a mark coming down the stretch. Obviously, he still needs marks and strikes now, but he's starting to widen the gap.
Yeah, Stu needs this strike really bad, and he gets it.
Oh, Nick just wound him up.
8th frame. This may determine the game here in the 8th frame. Stu needs a double. Anything that is not a strike here, and he's going to run out of frames. And he may have run out of frames right now based on what Nick Verano does.
Probably around the same.
All right, Stu stepping up with a must-strike scenario here.
Yeah, it's
and came in and he got it. So
big shot that quote unquote stops the bleeding. He is down 40 pins. However, a little bit of pressure now on Verano's side because now he's staring at a double. He does have to continue striking. This game is not over. However, a couple more strikes, it will be. 8th and 9th, obviously, he will not be stopped in the 10th frame. And more importantly for him, he will not need a mark.
Yeah, so this is a big strike here for Nick if he wants to try to put this match away. And this is the trouble lane, and unfortunately the 10 pin stands up.
My real groove was WCS. That was a real groove. I was getting like 150,000 views a month.
Coming up there. That ends the streak of 3 in a row. Now let's do some quick math. Assuming that he makes this, he's now looking at 239 to 220.
Yes.
So again, he doesn't need to carry as much. He will be careful of not making any fatal mistakes in fatal opens.
Yeah, first things first, got to make this 10 pin. Now, he's been pretty good on making these 10 pins today, and he will continue making these 10 pins today.
Actually, looking at it this way, 179 assuming the strike. If he goes Dutch, it's a 219. Stu can go out the door for a 220, so I take that back. He's going to have to find a double. If Stu goes out the door, Nick is going to have to find a double somewhere along the line to keep him at bay.
Yeah, because if he does not double, he'll look at a 219, he'll lose by 1.
Right.
Monday through Friday, that's it. Never the weekend. So that's why it's always been so convenient.
Nick Varano, right now, big shot here in the 9th frame. Because again, if this is not a strike, Stu Williams can come out the door and possibly beat him. Ooh.
That was his good lane. He came in very fast. I think he overthrew that one a little bit and leaves a 2-8.
Yeah, I was going to continue saying, if he doesn't throw a strike, Stu can go beat him depending on when he leaves. That is not the easiest spare in the world to make. If he does make it 227, he still cannot get shut out by Stu Williams.
The restaurant is now up and running.
So apparently the restaurant is up and running.
Get some more Old Bay wings.
Yeah, the question becomes who foots the bill.
All right, Nick Brown does make the spare.
Cannot get shut up by Stu Williams. However, Williams can force him to double.
Yes. So Stu steps up, needing 4 strikes here to force Verono to throw 3 in the 10th, or 2 in the 10th. Let's see if Stu gets his first one. Oh, that is really wide, and also leaves a 2-8.
Yeah, doing the math here, this is pretty much game over at that point. He pretty much had to throw a strike. Again, math going quickly here, 168. Now the best he can do is a 198. Nick has got a 187 off the mark, so as long as he doesn't, now it really is over.
He doesn't do that.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't do that, best that Stu can do is a 186. Nick is already at 187. He's going to win game 4.
Yes. So Nick Varano will take a 3-1 lead. All he has to do is win one more game in the next 3, and he will have himself a lot of bowling balls shipped to his address really soon.
A lot of bowling balls, and more importantly, a lot of discount on those bowling balls.
Yes.
He gave me one.
So Nick now again chatting. No, you're good. Nick right now chatting with his entourage to see what exactly he's going to be using. Sue's going to make the spare. Obviously, no pressure on Nick. So now they're chatting about what bowling ball to use and what's going on. Meanwhile, now I'm going to pull Michael O'Malley over here.
Can I sit? I feel like I'm like, hovering over you.
Come closer.
Can I sit in your seat, Gordon, or is that okay? No, because this is like, I don't like leaning over you. I feel like I'm
You're fine.
Encroaching on your privacy.
The microphone is
Okay,
covering
I got
everything
you.
that you're talking about. You're fine.
Yeah, all right, cool. So what do we got going on here? So Nick's gonna be a 3-1. It looks like. What we're seeing back there is left lane looks like there's been a little more shape the whole time. The right lanes started a little tighter. I think it's caught up. Thing with Nick, the key for Nick is he's just got to keep getting left, keep staying around it. So I think one shot, I think he threw on 13. Just rolled it, got a little quick, and a 2-8. But as long as he keeps getting left, keeps staying around it, he's going to be in good shape. So Stu, I think he moved back right on 13. I wonder if he was just trying something there. But it looked like he was in the identity and got back to the ion. He was in the ion the first couple of games. For Nick, he started with the altered, had a pretty good look. Just reading a little too hard, game 2 and 3, so he went to that Effector, similar layout. A little lower diff, get to read a little more consistently. They're getting a little wet dry, a little tight down lanes, so that's going to be the key, is just staying soft, keeping staying around. I mean, that's Stu's A game, but if Nick can do that, he's going to be in good shape.
One of the things that we've been talking about is Nick's adjustment via speed based on the lanes. What's your thoughts on that?
So, yeah, I think the key is, like I said, like you're saying, stay soft. That's what we've been telling him back here. His first 2 steps, if they stay short, if they stay slow, he's in good shape. If they get a couple shots he threw, especially I saw more on the left lane, he got a little too quick with those first 2 steps, and the ball didn't really read enough in the first, 40 feet of the lane. So, but I mean, last couple shots he's labeled. So as long as he, like you said, I mean, I keep repeating it, but as long as he stays soft, stays around it, he's going to be okay.
Well, if he does that one more game, he's going to have a contract at the end of game 4. Nick Varano, 227. Stu Williams, 175. Nick is up 3-1. Technically, there are 3 more games left in this match. Stu Williams must win all of them. The margin of error is 0, a.k.a. El Cheapo, and Nick Varano is 1 game away from getting a contract with Storm.
And Stu Williams will start things up here on game 5 on the left lane, and he needs to figure out what he is doing wrong here, and needs to figure it out now. And he starts off with a strike here in lane 1.
Well, he needed that. Again, if I'm Stu Williams, I need to figure out something very quickly, doing it very fast. And really getting, not the ball speed, but I mean getting out of the gate really fast and coming out running. And really putting pressure on Nick. Nick seems that he's got his line, as Mike is saying, as long as he's in his zone, he stays soft, he doesn't have that. Stu's job right now is to try to get him out of his comfort zone, make him uncomfortable, have him do something like that, corner pin, make him pay for it, throw strikes, force him to second guess what he is doing. If he can do that, he's going to extend the match. If he can't, and Nick stays in his comfort zone, this one's ending in 5.
Yeah. And we see here that Nick left a ring 10 pin, so not a bad shot by any means, just a bad break.
I do a lot of town halls, and I was doing the Liverpool ones.
And Nick will continue to be perfect on those spares. I don't think Nick has missed a single spare all match.
Nick has not missed a makeable spare all match.
Correct. And he made one that was a split. So
yeah, exactly. He did miss a few, especially especially early on, but you're absolutely right. His look is a lot better now. He is much cleaner technically than Stu Williams, and that's been the whole entire match, which again, you sort of think, well, wait a second, that's the Storm guy that's coming in. He's thrown more strikes than Nick, but when it's been coming to a grind game, Nick has had a better look right now.
Yeah.
Which is, again, why he's up 3-1.
Yes.
Is this over? Not by a long shot. Technically, Stu's got the lead. If he keeps the lead this game. If he keeps the lead going on and forces it to a game 6, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and from Stu's perspective, it has to be 1 game at a time. And that's how Nick's thinking, he has to win 1 game. If it's this game, it's ended now.
Yeah, exactly. You cannot have the mentality of, okay, well, I can afford to lose one and get away with it. Not against Stu Williams. You cannot have that mentality. I mean, you can't have that mentality of, oh, no, here he comes either. So it's sort of tempered, and as you said, yeah, you know what? I've got him on the ropes. Let's end this now, except he does not have him on the ropes this game. Doubled by Stu Williams. Stu now has the lead again.
Yeah, so Stu starts off with a double here in the second game. And I think he's going to get this pin out of the gutter on 14 before he steps up here to throw his next shot on 13.
It's something else. You don't want to try to golf around the finish. But and I also told Phil, it's not about creating something. I don't want us to do something that someone really seasoned can do. It's nice to have someone that's seasoned, but then you can have a guy that's not so seasoned. Right. Just to kind of, you need people.
You see Stu Williams throwing the ball in there. That knocks him down. That one once again cleared. We've seen that a couple of times this match.
Yes.
You put it in a 2-pager so everyone knows, all right, you start off like this, but look right here. Right. Something.
All right, Stu knows he needs to win 3 in a row, but in order to win 3 in a row, you got to win the first one.
Got to win the first. Right now, Stu Williams, so far so good.
And the look can always be different. Unless we figure out that look, right?
Stu with his third frame pitched. He doesn't like it that much, and he leaves himself a 10-pin. And we know how Stu's been dealing with 10-pins today. It's not been that good.
Well, all the 10-pin issues that he's had has been on lane 13, and his pickup percentage on 10 pins on lane 13. He's gotten some. He has not gotten more than half yet.
No, I think he's 2 for 4 right now, or maybe 3 for 5, but now he's about 4 for 6.
Well, 3 for 5, if you're going to ask about misses, yes, he's missed 3 of them. So now he's at 500.
That was great. I've seen double chins,
now he's better than below average, below 50.
Yeah, I don't think. No, the other miss was a 2-8, not a 10-pin.
Okay.
So he's missed 3 3 makeables.
3 makeable spares on the right-hand side, 2 of which have been fatal and the cause of him losing games.
Yes. I think all 3 of them has been the cause of losing games. As Nick with a big strike there, as he takes the lead here in Game 5, which is an elimination game for Stu Williams. If Nick wins this game, it is over.
That's correct. Now, if he keeps the lead, will depend on what he does in this frame. A triple here, and remember, we're talking about pressure. Pressure big time in this case.
Yeah.
The lighting sucks in most bowling alleys.
All right, Nick stepping on his left lane. He's kind of had a pretty good look on this left lane for the most part. He had 1 error shot last game, but for the most part, he's been all right. And he gets a light mixer to carry the 7-pin here in frame 4. He now has a turkey in the middle here after a spare to start off.
So far, so good for Varano. Again, spare 3. He's got the lead. We're talking about pressure here. Now, pressure's on Stu Williams.
And Stu with a 9-pin that does not go down. And I can read lips. I'm not going to repeat what he said.
He did not say Happy Labor Day.
No, he did not.
The screen and the lane is pretty good.
Well, which goes to show you that even though, I mean, there's not a whole lot riding from Stu's point of view for this, he wants to win this match.
Of course he does. I mean, he's freaking Stu Williams. The last thing he wants to do is be giving a contract out to anybody.
Yeah. Let alone some guy who just rolled in, did well in a tournament, and now is essentially walk away.
Rolled in, did well in a tournament, and now all of a sudden... And here's the thing, Nick Verano's got something to prove. As we said earlier, he's got family members that have got contracts. He's looking for that, and Stu is looking for a strike. Nick is 1 step closer to objective number 1. Stu is that much further with his 3rd straight 1-pin spare that he's got to attempt. 2 out of the 3, 10 pins.
Yes. I mean, none of those last 3 shots have been bad shots by any means. Just that
Not at all.
Hasn't been carrying, and you can tell Stu's starting to get a little frustrated, and this might be... No, he's good. Hey, listen, you never know with the way these balls might move in the back end.
Well, again, angle of entry, angle of entry, angle of entry. Michael O'Malley, not Michael Myers. That's someone else that right now, if you're looking for a horror show, Stu Williams is finding him. Michael O'Malley absolutely said he's got to stay soft, which he's been doing. He's got to stay firm, which he's been doing. Result, 3 strikes, and what Stu's got to be really worried about, if Nick gets comfortable, again, he's got to try to get him out of that comfort zone. And there's a giant fail on getting him out of the comfort zone. 4 in a row for Varano, and he's feeling comfortable. You can tell in the look at his face, he's feeling comfortable. As a bowler that's trying to chase, and you know this because both you and I have dealt with this, that is a disaster if all of a sudden your opponent is comfortable.
Yes, and he's not only comfortable, he's looking confident.
He's in the zone.
Yes.
I did, yeah. I mean,
and a strike here can really put a hammerlock on Game 5 to the point where Stu needs every strike remaining just to have a shot. As Nick steps up here on the left lane, which, again, lately has been his good lane, although I think both lanes have been pretty good for him lately. And there is another strike, 5 in a row, and the crowd comes alive as Nick is on the precipice of a contract here.
Yeah, crowd's starting to get a little antsy, and for Nick Varano, that is a good thing. Starting to get the clapping, starting to get that emotion coming up.
And Stu goes through the face again. And
Yeah.
I think from the body, I think Stu is already at the point where I think he's packing it in here.
Body language.
Yes, the body language says it all. And you can tell Stu is really lamenting what he's been doing, and it's not feeling confident right now. And we're looking at a couple more frames, and this could be all she wrote.
Yeah, from a mathematical perspective, this could end in the 8th frame, especially if Stu is, and he's trying. It's not like he's not trying; he's throwing shots, just does not have the angle of entry. Nick does. Nick has brought the correct entourage with him, with Mike O'Malley and company, and they've been helping him out, doing exactly what he needs to do, and he's been listening.
And there's a 2-8-10, and that is probably going to be, I wouldn't say it's all she wrote, but the lady is starting to get the lungs warmed up, if you know what I'm saying.
George Bizet's Carmen is starting to warm up the orchestra, and we're about to go into the final act.
Yes, we are.
And some woman with a Viking helmet named Helga is about to start crooning.
That's what I was referring to, yes. And you're going to see pretty soon, especially if Nick throws the next 2 strikes, the members behind us, mainly of Rogue, will erupt for Nick Varano here.
Best Stu Williams can do is 219. Nick Varano can achieve that in the 8th frame.
All right, Nick steps up to try to pretty much ice down Game 5, end the match here. Gets it out, gets it in, but comes right through the face, 3-6-10. So it's not over yet, but it's not a total disaster.
Right now, he's not at the point that he needs to carry. He is at the point that all he's got to do is stay clean, and he's got it. Yeah, my math is correct here. Yeah, right now he's in the 230 range. The best that Stu Williams could do, 219 if he goes out the door.
And when I was in the playoffs, 2 guys got each other today. But then I'm looking
see if Nick can make the spare again. He's made every makeable spares in every game so far, and I don't think that's changing here as he makes that spare here. And he's 1 strike away from potentially putting it to a point where all he has to do is keep it on the lane.
Well, he's three marks away. But he's 3 marks away from doing that. Obviously, if he opens, that opens the door for Stu Williams to get right back into this one. But as you said, everything that is a makeable spare, he's been able to make. So there hasn't been any issues on that end.
All right, Nick gets the ball out here on the left lane, and the 7-pin falls.
I can see some emotion. We got a fist bump out of that.
Yep, and Stu's 7 up. I think this might be the end here because I don't know if Stu's going to be. Yeah, another 9-pin here for Stu.
Here comes the celebration.
Yes, we're going to see a big celebration here very soon here. Also, Nick will finish the game here, and we'll have a nice little bit of glory for himself and from his friends and teammates behind us here, as he is going to earn himself a Storm contract by beating Stu Williams 4-1, barring an absolute catastrophe. We're not even looking at a total catastrophe. We're looking at an absolute catastrophe. And even that might not be enough.
If he wins, he's going to win 4-1.
Yeah. A convincing win. As, we can now say it is official now.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I don't think there's ever been a sweep. I think the biggest victory in the contract match has been 4-1.
For either way.
And it really doesn't matter at this point, even though he's going to make the spare. Mathematically, this is over. Congratulations to Nick Varano for winning the Storm contract, defeating Stu Williams 4-1.
Yes, big congratulations. And I'm willing to buy the ball he has in his hand right now. He can't use it anymore.
Sorry?
I'm willing to buy the ball that's in his hand. He can't use it anymore.
Yeah, no, you cannot.
Yes.
And you definitely won't. This is the last time you'll be able to. You won't be able to use it in around 30 seconds.
Yes. 7-pin. But Nick Varano with the win, and he gets a nice little ovation from the crowd here at Battle Bowl 16, Newcastle, Delaware.
One laptop, and that was this one. It was in a different bag, like on the bottom.
I got wires. Post-game interview with with the microphone.
I'll get up and like.
Yeah, no. You want me to conduct or do you want? Okay, I'll conduct. I'm going to start asking.
All right. Once Nick's done here in the 10th frame, we're going to get Nick Varano into the interview with Gordon Pepper to talk about the match as he closes out with a strike. Congratulations once again to Nick Varano, winning himself a Storm contract, beating Stu Williams 4-1.
Because I've got that microphone is so yours is portable.
Oh, Gordon. If they're going to do it,
Right?
All right. Congratulations again, Nick Varano. He will get interviewed by Gordon here in a little bit. So we're going to turn things over. Okay. Stu going to finish out the games here. Stu is bowling more later tonight, so I want to see what the lane's going to do. Again, at Battle Bowl, there will be tournaments running a lot.
say goodbye.
All right, so we're going to say goodbye to everyone here on the UBA feed. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back tonight with the World Championship Wilder Cup match between Hitman and Outrage. That'll be tonight at approximately 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Until then, we will see you all then. Thanks for watching, everyone, and UBA all day.